for a scene, which we love to do. We love adding rain to a scene because rain increases the emotion, the tension, and drama of whatever scene it's used in. Think about it. Sad scenes get sadder in the rain, right? Scary scenes get way scarier in the rain. And even romance scenes somehow get more romantic in the rain. I don't know why it works, but I've seen the Notebook. I know that's very well. So we're gonna add some rain to our tour right now, see if it makes things a bit more dramatic. Ready? And action. Yeah. This is how we would do it for a movie. We're using a very complicated, very intricate system here. It's called a sprinkler. Yeah, have you heard of it? Shoots the water out and up. That way it falls back down as naturally as possible. If we wanted to film here, we need to have some better lighting. If you don't light rain correctly, it could just make the picture blurry. The trick is to typically backlight it from a slight angle. Then it usually shows up nice and crispy on screen. You're not just hearing rain, you're also hearing sizzling bacon. A sound effect often added to it to make it sound more delicious, I guess. Wait, what's
We have to pay attention to each other.
We got a flash flood. Cut the water. Take cover. No, not up here. I'm up here. Okay, I'm good. Did you guys stay dry? Pretty much? Okay, you did better than Paul Giamatti and Big Fat Liar. That's a fact.
That movie plays right here.
You can't outrun the wolf.
No, Paul, close your mouth. What a bummer. It's a great movie. If you want to see our lot in action, check out Big Fat Liar, okay? They use every part of our lots.
It's very fun.
Now, Paul Giamatti is not the only actor to take on our flood. Lady Gaga took on the flood in her music video, Judas, wearing a full-length gown in that water. Pretty crazy. She could have used a stunt person for the part, but she wanted to do it herself. She's very brave, that Gaga. Now, a lot of brave scenes have happened here in the dry part of Old Mexico. Scenes from Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, Paramount's Nacho Libre with Jack Black, the bravest luchador. But if you're looking for the true home of the brave here at Universal, well, look no further than right here in the Wild Wild West. Welcome to 6 Points, y'all. This is where we've created some of our greatest westerns of all time, starring some of our favorite cowboys, like Destiny Rides Again with Jimmy Stewart and Miss Marlena Dietrich. Or My Little Chickadee with Mae West and W.C. Fields. Added a couple of new favorite cowboys to our roster back in 2018 when they were here filming for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Quentin Tarantino's latest with Brad Pitt and Leo DiCaprio. A couple of no-name actors you probably never heard of, but they're pretty good. Now these are our oldest sets on the lot. When we first opened, we were making silent westerns, made over 200 silent western films in our first year of filmmaking right here on this set. It's a lot of movies. But we had a much larger western set at the time. Right now we only have one western street. We used to have 6 full western streets that each had their own bank, saloon, and jail. So you could pretty much make a whole western on just one of our western streets, which meant we could make 6 westerns at the same time on the same set. Why? Because they were silent. Nowadays, it wouldn't be possible. We're all recording audio. Everybody would be talking over each other. Got to spread out productions nowadays on the back lot, or better yet, when we can, keep them inside of sound stages to make sure we have that good audio quality. But back then, you could smush them all together, make as much noise as you wanted. There was no phrase quiet on set. You could be loud on set because they weren't recording audio. We even were able to invite guests onto the lot. Our founder, Carl Laemmle, he wanted to show people how movies were made because he thought if people knew how movies were made, they'd want to go see the movies more. So he opened the lot to guests. And you can pay a quarter to come onto the lot, watch them film a silent western right there on set. You could even cheer on your favorite cowboys, who the bad guys out loud, because those sounds would never show up in the final product of the silent film. But then, of course, in the late 1920s, we started making movies with sound, the talkies, as we called them. And that's when we had to stop our tours of the lot and kick everybody out. It wasn't until the 60s when we started our studio tram tour that we were able to bring people back behind the scenes again in 1964. And ever since then, we've been adding fun attractions to our lot to entertain and educate our guests, like our Flash Flood added in 1968 and Jaws added in 1976 with the help of our friend Steven Spielberg.
The Jaws ride was almost the inevitable result of the size of the box office when Jaws first opened in June of 1975. And that was really the first time I ever got involved in the creation of a ride. It was a great honor to be invited into a creative circle of tremendous designers at Universal that were trying to figure out how to replicate what the movie had done to the audience in a real way. filming invisible sharks come out of the water and terrify tourists as they were sitting in the crowd.
All right, I'm tired of terrifying the tourists. Let's go somewhere more comfortable. Welcome home to our residential section of the lot. This is our slice of suburbia where a lot of
Everybody,
famous
we are
characters lived. To the right is
I
our chicken
repeat,
ranch from the Best Little Whorehouse
we
in Texas,
are
starring Miss
cooked.
Dolly Parton. It's where she's saying, I will always love you.
I repeat, we are so dang good.
We've got two main neighborhood streets. Our most famous and most active is up to the left-hand side. It's called Colonial Street, but you might call it Wisteria Lane from ABC's Desperate Housewives. And we're lucky to get to go down it today. So let's go check out the neighborhood.
Let us check out that neighborhood. Okay,
But
as
long
long as
before
we
the
don't ruin the
housewives were even
cycle
a glimmer in
house.
some producer's eye, this street was here. And we were making movies and TV shows on it. So let me show you around, starting on the left-hand side, tell you about some of the non-Desperate Housewives credits that filmed here. Off to the left, you see that brown house. That belonged to Jimmy Stewart and his Invisible Bunny friend in the film Harvey from 1950. The purple house is 1313 Mockingbird Lane from the Munsters in the 60s. The yellow house next door belonged to the Hardy Boys in the 70s. It's also where Davey lived in our show Never Have I Ever. The gray house is my personal fave. It's where Dr. Dre and Eminem stood outside of a burned down house with a can full of gas and a handful of matches. Still weren't found out. They forgot about Dre music video. It's a very popular place for music videos, actually. They also filmed Smash Mouth's All-Star on the lot. Hey now, you're an all-star. That filmed right here. Painted all the houses crazy colors for that one. Go watch it on the YouTubes, okay? It's pretty awesome. And that's the joy of working here on this street as opposed to somebody's real neighborhood, right? You can blow up a house, you can burn it down, you can paint it a wild color. The sky's the limit.
Sorry,
You can
guys,
even
that's my
change the
mother.
season, which is good because we don't get seasons here in LA, but we do make holiday movies on this street. So we gotta change up the season if we wanna make a Halloween film like Casper the Friendly Ghost. Well, we gotta turn it into an East Coast fall. Gotta bring out colorful leaves, staple them physically to the branches. If we want it to be winter, maybe we'll bring out fake snow.
Ugh.
Off to the left-hand side, you see this house that's part brick and part blue wood siding. They're in the middle of changing it to a brick house. It's pretty easy to do. All you have to do is print out some plastic bricks, staple it up to the to the house, and then you've got a whole new kind of house. We do this a lot. We change up the look. We have to, because if you keep it the same, people are going to realize that all of our characters live in the exact same neighborhood. So you got to make it look different every time you film on this street. Changing the mailboxes, the picket fences, the patio furniture each time you use it. Let's head out of the burbs, folks. We're heading up this street. This is Steven Spielberg Drive. It's the longest street on our lot, which makes a lot of sense since we have such a long relationship with our friend, Steven Spielberg.
My entire career began with my relationship with Universal Studios just as a high school kid on a tour bus. Remember, in those days, there weren't trams, there were buses called the Grey Line Tour Bus. And I was so excited and thrilled to be on the lot. It was my first time ever on a movie studio lot. And during a bathroom break, I hid in the bathroom. And when everybody left to get back on the bus, I waited another 15 minutes.
Why is there another tour
before the
bus here?
left. And then I had the entire lot to myself that
That's
day.
weird.
And in those days, movie lots were so
That's
crowded
cool.
because all movies were made on film lots. Today they're made all over the world on location, but most of us were focused in those days in the 60s on the film lots. So nobody noticed me when I was going around from soundstage to soundstage. And I really felt in my own young way, I owned the lot and had the most amazing day of my life.
Yeah, that story took place just before our studio tour began in 1964. And when it did start here on the lot, we were driving around this little cutie. To the left is one of our glamour trams, followed by picture cars, vehicles seen in TV and film. Cars can do a lot of storytelling for our filmmakers. They tell us details like time period, location. They tell us about the character who owns the car, their personality, their financial status, their taste. But most often, cars are driving forward the plot. They're part of the action. They're taking the characters to the next big movie moments, like in 1960s. Marion Crane drives
The
her car
motel?
on the road in the middle of a stormy night and ends up right here at the Bates Motel. This is the Bates Motel from the sequels. But up the hill is one of the oldest sets left standing in all of Hollywood, the original Psycho house, where that guy lives. That's Norman Bates right there, folks. He runs this motel, lives in the house on the hill with his mother. The Bates Motel usually doesn't have a lot of business. It's sort of in the middle of nowhere. So usually 12 rooms and 12 vacancies, but not today. Somebody checked into room number 1 last night, and now she's checking out forever, because Norman Bates is a murderer, folks. He's a very bad man, spoiler alert. It's not his fault he's so bad. He had a really terrible childhood with an awful mom. Wait, is he listening to me? Oh no, he doesn't like when you talk bad about his mother. We gotta go. I'm sorry, Norman. Your mother's lovely. We all think so, right, guys?
Yeah, we don't think so.
He'll come after us. No, not the fourth car. Oh. That was so close. You guys okay back there? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have driven us this route. I know that guy's a psycho. Let's go check out the psycho house.